Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another counter side video. Alright, this video is kind of an important video and I want you guys to be really wary of what I'm going to say right here in this video, specifically about T6 versus T7 gears. Alright, so it is going to apply for you regardless of where you're playing this from. If you're from global server, if you're from C server, if you're from KR server, if you're from JP server, this will apply to you. Now, hot take going into this, T6 is better than T7. Now, I'm going to give you guys a couple of reasons why, but so far, I hope you guys have been keeping your T6 gears. And again, please, if you guys haven't already, watched that video that I did recently for the gear guide video. So hopefully you'll get a much better idea on how gears work in general. Because in this video, I'm not going to cover the basics. We're just going to jump into the advanced stuff about T6 and T7. What are the differences? Alright, so first things first, we need to know a couple of things. There are two types of T7 gears. Right now, in global server, you can only get T7 gears from the raids, right? So the Britra raid. So you can go here, you do the raids, and then you get some from the T exchange, for example, this one, you know, some selector that you can pick up, T7 SSR Britra relic weapon. Alright, so let's filter all my gears by the T7 and T6. So we're going to display those only. As you can see, these are all the T7 and T6 gears that I have currently. So there are multiple types of T6, there are multiple types of T7 as well. So in terms of the T7 right now, the one that I'm going to talk about, the first type that we're going to talk about is the relic gears. Now, relic gears are divided into three specific relic gears. Number one is the Britra relic gears. So we also have the regular relic gears that you can farm that is not available yet in global. So what am I talking about? Like, is these gears right here, for example, this one, the Swift relic crown, the Swift relic shell, and the Swift relic module, and the Swift relic skeleton. So this is the second type of relic gear. And the third type of relic gear are those that you can obtain from the inhibitor raids. For example, this one, inhibitor relic rifle, inhibitor relic hands. Alright, so far you guys are following me? There are three types of relic gears. Alright, the relic Britra gears that global already has. The Swift relic, alright, for this one are farmable. You can basically farm them in the challenge stages. Global don't have this yet. Right here in the challenge mode, you can farm them from these three stages. Very difficult. There's this stage in Steely Ruins. Believe it or not, 1 year account, C server, I can't do the last stage 3 star. The hardest PvE stage in the game. And the last one is the inhibitor relic gears that you can obtain from the inhibitor raids. So right now on C server, we have the different inhibitor season. And then we also have the T7 gears that you can upgrade your T6 gears to. And remember in the previous video, we have talked about what's the best gear that you can obtain right now. It's either the mace gears or the Gordias. But if you notice, the mace gear and Gordias, they are T6, right? But eventually, do you know that you can upgrade them to T7? So that is where this comes in. Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention to this. This is not yet in global, so which is why I haven't made the video yet. But right now, global only has access to this thing right now, right? So the rest are not yet in global, but you need to understand moving forward that there's basically two types of T7 gears. These T7 relic gears or the T7 upgraded gears. Now let's talk about the T7 upgraded gears. The T7 upgraded gears, ideally, is going to be the better gear for most of your character. Now what am I talking about? Let's jump into the HQ in the workshop in the upgrade section. So notice you can upgrade every single T6 to T7. Alright, you can upgrade every single T6 and to T7. Right here, it's listed right here. You can upgrade mace hands, you can upgrade mace crown, every single one. It's going to require this material though. For example, this nightmarish extract and supply elite gear material, which again global doesn't have right now, which you can farm in that stage that I showed you guys earlier. These 3 challenge stage, which is again very difficult, but you can farm it right here. So you can even upgrade exclusive equipments. Now some of the exclusive equipments, let me scroll down. For example, this is Aquarius bottle. My face cam might be blocking it, so let me see if I can turn it off. For Arius, this is Liumi's weapon. You can upgrade the T6 to T7. You can upgrade the T6 to T7 for every gear. Every T6 gear in the game is upgradable, right? So these are not the relic gears. These are the upgraded ones. And guess what? For most of the time, most cases, these gears are generally better. Now we'll get into why later, but for now, just keep in mind that before you upgrade your gears, there's a requirement. and it's a very expensive requirement. That is, you will need to plus 10 your gear. Which is something that's very expensive. Alright, so I don't know how many plus 10s you guys have. How many of you guys have a plus 10? I bet no one has plus 10 yet on global, right? At least you guys watching. So maybe like a couple of you guys have plus 10 if you're a whale. But plus 10, a gear is very expensive. You need to feed it so much other gears or other briefcases. The thing that looks like the enhancement modules, right? The thing that give you level ups. So notice this one. I do have this, but I can't upgrade it because they are not plus 10. But right now I have a mace gear, which I can upgrade to a plus 10. Look at this. All of this is plus 6, plus 6, plus 4, plus 6, plus 5, plus 5. Ew! They don't accept this. They only accept plus 10. So you gotta have a gear upgraded to plus 10. Boom! And then it will be, if you upgrade this, it will become a T7 plus 9, just as seen right here. So it's going to lower its rarity. You're going to get more stats in every single option. As you can see, anti-ground damage resistance increase 14 to 16%, 14 to 16%, etc. It consumes a lot of this, and it consumes a lot of gold. Okay, so now we need to know the difference between these T7 gears and the T7 relic gears. Alright, again, I know global only have Britra right now, so hopefully to avoid less confusion, we're just gonna apply this to Britra. Alright, so I found a perfect example to show you guys. So guys, look at this. This is an SC laser scope. It's a soldier accessory, alright, notice. And then we have a Britra relic scope, which is also a soldier accessory. So the relic gears, T7. Again, this T6, like I said, can be upgraded to T7. But notice one thing, right? Notice the first stat. This one, if I bring this gear into here, right, the option cannot be changed. So let's have a look what is the option right here for option 1. It's a crit damage 14.8%. Or rather crit damage 15%. If you upgrade it to max, you can get up to crit damage 15% for a T6. So this one, however, the T7 relic gears, look at this. You can change the first option, right? It's not allowed to crit damage. But you notice the crit damage only goes up to 8.8%. So you're getting less stat. Do you guys notice that? You're getting less stat on the first option. 8.8% for this T7 relic gear, and this one is 15%. So that's like almost half the crit damage reduction. Alright? And of course, if you guys are wondering what's the best one, obviously, the best one is the crit damage. The flat crit, the flat hit E. Never take flat, alright? Flat? No. Say no to flat. But now, let's look at the second option. Now this is what possibly makes the T7 slightly better, but not by much. Let's look at the option list. You can have anti-ground damage and anti-ground damage resistance, and you can also have anti-tower and anti-siege. Relic gears have that. The T6 gears, their stats are a bit... Notice we don't have anti-tower and anti-siege here. And notice the anti-ground and the anti-ground damage res, it only goes up to 14%. Whereas the T7 relic gears, it goes up to 17.6%. So more percentage for option 2, less percentage for option 1. Now, is that worth it generally? No. However, T7 relic gears, you can do something that the T7 upgraded gears can't. And that is the latent ability. So let's talk about the latent ability. Now, I know this is getting complicated, bear with me, alright? So latent ability is exclusive to these gears, the relic gears. These gears doesn't have latent ability. So what the heck is latent ability? So notice there's this unlock latent ability. Notice this one gives me flat attack plus 19, is cringe. So latent ability unlocks at plus 2 for socket 1, at plus 5 for socket 2, and plus 7 for socket 3. Alright? And if you get attack flat, that means the socket 2 and socket 3 will also get flat attack. So let's have a look at the list of the things that you can get. So notice you can get attack flat, attack percent, hit, crit damage percent, crit damage rest percent, skill haste percent, speed percent, CC rest percent, range damage percent, melee damage percent. Now the range damage percent and melee damage percent, that one will be a good one to obtain. If you can get that, that will be the best latent that you can get. The relic gears, ideally, they're generally worse than the T7 upgraded gears. What makes up for them in general is if you can get good latents. The thing about latents is you cannot reroll latent. You get a gear, you get a good gear. If your latent sucks, then they are not better than the T7 upgraded gears generally. Also, one thing that I think we need to talk about as well. Now let's have a look at this T7 Britra Relic case. This is a counter gear for counters. Alright, generally what do you want for counters? A lot of counters want skill haze, 72% skill haze, 76% skill haze if you upgrade all to T7. If we go and change the option, again, you have option between anti-ground damage rest, anti-air damage rest, all these anti-rest, but there's no skill haze. There is no skill haze. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but if you get skill haze on relic gears generally, they are really bad because you cannot roll substat of skill haze for second option. Which is why, generally, the T7 relic gears are worse than the T6 for a lot of players right now. Especially right now in global, you're starting out, this is going to be the better one for you rather than this one. Same applies for the inhibitor as well. Look at this is the weapon. If I try and change the option, again, you can see there's no skill haze. But if you look at the T6 for example, there's skill haze option. Alright, the options are different. You have the ability to roll for skill haze, 8.5%. And this is how, ideally, you want to stack your character's skill haze up to 72% skill haze. Now again, for a lot of counters, you know, like Carl Wong for example, you always want more skill haze, right? So because you get 30% skill haze, and the others will give you more skill haze, so the idea here is to try to get up to 72% skill haze. That's for T6, alright? But if you get all T6 gears and you have skill haze on the second substat option, it will always go up to only the mace gears. The Dante gears actually gives less skill haze. So even though my Carl Wong, the weapon 10%, right? This one 7.5%. If this was a mace case will be able to give 10% as well. And this will be 11% skill haze and 11% skill haze here. And if you're T7, you get more skill haze. You get 76.2% if I'm not mistaken. So that's the amount right there. Hopefully that explains the differences, and I hope you guys are not too confused by this. At the end of the day, the system is a little bit confusing. So let's talk about what's the approach for relic gears then. So ideally, most counters that use skill haze, the T7 up gears is still going to be better than the T7 relic gears. But a lot of soldiers, a lot of mechs that relies on attack speed, the T7 relic gears is good for them. Characters that don't use the skills as often, they just relies on attack speed, then yes, these three is usable for them. So it just depends on the character, ideally. So you can see investing gears is something that's super endgame. It's something that's very complicated. It's not just as simple as, oh, these gears are better T7, so therefore they are better. In most cases, for a lot of players right now, even in C server, T6 gears are still going to be superior. So make sure you know the differences between the T7 relic gears and the T7 upgraded gears that can be upgraded later. Again, global don't have this yet, but I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. So yeah, it's just what it is. Farming gears endgame is going to be something that you do in the long run. Eventually, you're gonna get lots of fodders, and hopefully, you know, as time goes by, you'll have much more usable gears in your inventory. Alright, so as always guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. I know some of you guys might have questions. Feel free to ask below in the comment section. Hopefully, I'll be able to tell you guys more as time comes. If you guys haven't already, turn on the notification as well, because I do live stream every single day on the channel. Alright, so if you guys want to know when I stream, YouTube will notify you if you turn on the notification. It might be easier to ask me questions there when I'm live as well. As always, have a nice day. Goodbye.